It was Kejriwal's first day in Varanasi where he launched the epic battle against Narendra Modi. But it was also a day when the Aam Aadmi Party chief faced a backlash from BJP supporters. But what may really worry Kejriwal is the holy city's indifference to his charm offensive. Our reporters in Varanasi.
Arvind Kejriwal facing all-out backlash in the holy city. An ink attack, black flags and even flying eggs all on the first day of his Varanasi foray.
क्या मुझे वाराणसी से नरेंद्र मोदी जी के खिलाफ चुनाव लड़ना चाहिए?
But an unfazed Kejriwal declared war on Narendra Modi.
चुनाव लड़ना चाहिए। मैं ये चुनौती स्वीकार करने के लिए तैयार हूँ।
The day had begun on a calmer note, with the Aam Aadmi Party chief testing waters in the holy city. But as soon as he got an inkling of what was in store, a crowd greeted him with pro-Modi chants. Soon eggs were flying at Kejriwal when he emerged out of the revered Kashi Vishwanath temple.
An egg has been thrown at him as soon as he was coming out. Somebody from the upstairs had thrown an egg at Arvind Kejriwal. So of course there is some opposition as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, and this clearly are the signs of a tough fight that we will be witnessing as far as Varanasi is concerned.
A group of protesters threw ink at Kejriwal's convoy when the Aam Aadmi Party chief was leading his roadshow to the Benia Bagh rally venue.
Arvind Kejriwal is facing protest against him as soon as he entered Banaras, and just on his roadshow you can see on Arvind Kejriwal, ink was thrown at Kejriwal and his associates, those who are in an open vehicle.
While the Aam Aadmi Party was quick to blame the BJP for the attacks, the Saffron Party pointed fingers at Kejriwal.
Do we clearly know who did this? Because I remember in the Ramlila Maidan or Jantar Mantar, when ink was daubed on the face of one of the Aam Aadmi leaders, it turned out to be their own man. So I'm not even going to respond on this till they establish and till everybody establishes as to who has done this.
मैं गुजरात गया तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी के लोगों ने वहां पे हमें जगह-जगह काले झंडे दिखाए। 4 बार हमारे ऊपर हमला किया, हमारी गाड़ी के शीशे तोड़ दिए। बताओ हमने कोई भ्रष्टाचार किया था? हमने क्या गलत काम किया था?
हम बनारस के लोग हैं लड़ने का।
Kejriwal has brazened out the attacks, but the thin crowds at his rally may spell trouble, threatening his plan to wrest the holy city.
We have already told that most of the people who have been brought to Benia Bagh are not from Varanasi. They have been called from various places across Uttar Pradesh, across Purvanchal and even from Delhi.
इस धरती पर हो प्यार का घर घर उजियारा.
With Ruchika Tomar, Ankit Tyagi and Rohit Singh from Varanasi, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
हर हर महादेव.
It was supposed to be a mega rally, the coming out party of the Aam Aadmi Party in Varanasi. But despite all the hype, Arvind Kejriwal's debut in the temple town didn't go as per plan. Crowds at the rally grounds were missing. The carpets were littered with empty chairs, and as Headlines Today discovered, the Aam Aadmi Party was more than just a little touchy about this. When our correspondent Rohit Singh started pointing this out, he was pushed around, heckled and prevented from doing his job.
बेनिया बाग मैदान में है और अरविंद केजरीवाल इस समय रैली को संबोधित कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो भीड़ है इस समय भीड़ बहुत कम नजर आ रही है। अगर हम ये दिखा सकें, हमारे ये बाईं तरफ देखिए, ये जो खाली कुर्सियां हैं, ये इस समय केजरीवाल रैली को एड्रेस कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो ये देख लीजिए किस तरीके से प्रदर्शन किया जा रहा है। हम जब ये खाली कुर्सियां शूट करना चाह रहे हैं तो आम आदमी पार्टी के जो लोग हैं हमें शूट नहीं करने दे रहे हैं। और देखिए ये खाली कुर्सियां जो आप देख सकते हैं, जाहिर सी बात है जो ये एक रैली जो अरविंद केजरीवाल की है, इसको एक तरीके से किस तरीके से गुंडागर्दी की जा रही है आप देख सकते हैं। जाहिर सी बात है आक्रोश है लोगों में, लोग ये कह रहे, लोग मानने को तैयार नहीं है कि खाली कुर्सियां हैं। ये रैली में बहुत ज्यादा लोग नहीं आए हैं, इसीलिए जब हम ये दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं तो लोग देख सकते हैं आम आदमी पार्टी की गुंडागर्दी कर रहे हैं।
There you see Rohit Singh's report on how crowds were actually missing, being drowned out by supporters of the Aam Aadmi Party. I want to go across to my colleague Ruchika Tomar, who's joining us from Varanasi tonight. Ruchika, you've been travelling through the holy city. Give our viewers a sense of what's the mood on the ground. Is the Kejriwal versus Modi fight more hype than reality, or do you really see Kejriwal putting up a tough fight to Modi on the ground?
You know, the best thing would be to hear it from the horse's mouth, Rahul. Typical to his style, Arvind Kejriwal held a voice referendum at a rally where we saw a large presence of his volunteers, supporters, and of course a lot of curious people who just wanted to see Arvind Kejriwal perhaps in flesh and blood, having seen him only on television so far. Let's in fact hear it from the people and see what they make of Arvind Kejriwal's presence in Varanasi, and do they think if he poses a tough challenge to Mr. Narendra Modi. We have someone here who supports the BJP. क्या कहेंगे आप आज केजरीवाल को सुन के, उन्होंने जो यहाँ पर भाषण दिया, लगता है कि एक कड़ी टक्कर देने वाले हैं नरेंद्र मोदी को?
केजरीवाल कभी भी टक्कर नरेंद्र मोदी को नहीं दे पाएंगे, क्योंकि उसका कारण यह है कि काशी की जनता 16 लाख है और यहाँ पे अगर बहुमत उन्होंने बोला कि काशी की जनता से पूछ के ही मैं निर्णय लूंगा कि यहाँ से लड़ूंगा कि नहीं, और उनके रैली में केवल 7,000 लोग आए थे, तो उससे वो क्या
ओके और आपसे जानना चाहते हैं क्या कहेंगे आप, आपको लगता है कि टफ फाइट दे पाएंगे वो?
नहीं, अरविंद केजरीवाल ने टफ नहीं कर पाएंगे और नरेंद्र मोदी को यहाँ से विजयी घोषित करके।
We also have a volunteer, a supporter of Aam Aadmi Party here with us who studies at the BHU, and I can assure you he's having a tough time here. आप बताइए आपको क्यों लगता है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल यहाँ से एक अच्छी फाइट नरेंद्र मोदी को दे पाएंगे और शायद जीत भी पाएंगे?
अरविंद केजरीवाल ही यहाँ से जीतेंगे, क्योंकि यहाँ कोई मोदी वेब वगैरह है नहीं, ये केवल कहने की बात है कि देयर इज
Clearly you can see our voices are getting drowned. Very difficult for Aam Aadmi Party supporters to even voice their thoughts at this stage. So clearly it may seem that Arvind Kejriwal is posing a tough challenge, but when you speak to the people on the streets, no matter how hard the RSS and the BJP leadership says that do not give out Har Har Modi chants, we still do hear the supporters here coming out with the chants of Har Har Modi, alluring him to Mr. Singh.
Not just Ruchika, the Aam Aadmi Party workers too in Varanasi having a tough time. Ruchika, take care of yourself. You've got lots of people around you. Best to get you out of that live frame. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. So you see how difficult it was for the Aam Aadmi Party supporter to come out and make his voice heard, being drowned out in the surge of saffron all around. Is the Arvind Kejriwal battle in Varanasi more hype than reality? Can Kejriwal realistically do an encore of what he did with Sheila Dikshit in Delhi? And is there victory for Kejriwal even if he's bettered by Narendra Modi, even if he loses to the BJP's Prime Ministerial nominee? Joining us on the centre stage face-off tonight, I want to begin by introducing Siddharth Nath Singh from the BJP. He's been working very hard, campaigning all across Uttar Pradesh for the BJP. With us also at this time, Salman Soz representing the Congress and Raghav Chadha representing the Aam Aadmi Party. I want to go across first to Raghav on what gives the Aam Aadmi Party hope that this battle is more than just symbolism. We saw today just about 7,000 people coming to the rally where Arvind Kejriwal announced that he would fight from Varanasi. There was supposed to be a referendum amongst local people on the lines of the referendum in Delhi, where you would ask the people of Varanasi, should Kejriwal contest? Clearly realizing that people might say that Kejriwal shouldn't contest, no referendum was held. What makes you believe that this battle is more reality than hype, Raghav?
Looking at this scenario mathematically is concerned, I don't agree with the number 7,000. Let the media reports, let the analytics come out with the right number, because I've been told that the number was close to 15,000. So I think 7,000 is an underestimated number. As far as the total electorate of Varanasi is concerned, which is close to 16 lakhs, if those people were not in favor of Mr. Kejriwal contesting elections from Varanasi, they should have come out in public and demonstrated that, which they didn't, which clearly shows that there is, and the kind of enthusiasm that we have seen since the very minute Mr. Kejriwal stepped on the ground in Varanasi, the kind of enthusiasm, though there were 20 25 odd people who were, throwing eggs and doing all this kind of derogatory, unparliamentary behavior, still the kind of enthusiasm that we have seen, the kind of battle that the Aam Aadmi Party's leader is fighting, I think it offers a lot of credibility. It reinforces the democracy, and
no,
it
you're not
actually
answering
shows
my
that
question.
there is a leader.
Raghav, my question is straight. Arvind Kejriwal said there would be a referendum amongst the people of Varanasi to decide whether he should contest. Why was no real referendum done on the lines of what you did in Delhi before forming a government here?
Yes, so Rahul, he invited the entire electorate of the Lok Sabha constituency Varanasi to come out and either show their dissent or convey their consent, which few of them actually came out, and they clearly show that they wanted Mr. Kejriwal to contest, and the people who chose not to come are indirectly conveying that they want him to contest. I think it's fairly simple.
No, I don't know. That's very convenient.
Let us also
you
understand.
Yourself are admitting
let us
that only a few people came.
No,
you yourself are saying that a few people came, and I think that's a dead giveaway. Siddharth Nath Singh wants to come in and take on what you've said. I'm coming back to you, Raghav, in just a moment. You've made some initial comments. You're saying those who came, which is just a handful, want him to contest. Does that mean, Siddharth, that those who didn't come out,
Rahul,
they don't want Kejriwal to contest from there? Siddharth.
I think, Rahul, you have already answered. You understood what Raghav was saying. We invited everybody to come, 16 lakh people, but only a handful came, and they gave. Those who did not come, obviously their answer is no for Mr. Kejriwal. So there is no referendum which is
that
taken.
can be your interpretation, sir.
BJP welcomes
that can be your interpretation.
We are happy that he wishes to contest against Narendra. No, it's not my interpretation. It is the interpretation of generally who are watching what you have said. I have no problem. You are welcome to come to Varanasi, contest from there, test the waters and see for yourself that the hype that you had created during the Delhi Assembly election has faded away, and that has not faded away because of anything else, but because of your own doing,
well, that only
running
time
away
will
from governance,
that
the type of issues which you raise, the type of media hype that you have tried to make, and even today, Rahul, I'm a bit surprised, for
let me ask you one question, Mr. Siddharth Nath.
It is now being proven that Arvind Kejriwal can do anything to be in the media, and this answer was, and this is how even Yogendra Yadav did when we all realized that it was his own Karyakarta who had painted him in...
No, you're jumping the gun. There is no proof of the fact that it was an Aam Aadmi Party supporter who smeared the ink on Arvind Kejriwal. But there is proof of empty chairs, and I want Raghav Chopra to answer that. Because Raghav Chadha, the reality is there were empty chairs in Varanasi. Here's a picture of the ground. Very sparsely filled out, You can see in those pictures that at least 3/4 of the ground is empty. Just a couple of thousand people. Now, whether it's 7,000 or 15,000, we can argue. You don't have a definite answer. Your opponents don't have a definite answer. But that ground isn't full. The response to Arvind Kejriwal in Varanasi, the reality is, has been very lukewarm. Even you admitted that only few people came out in support. What about the rest of Varanasi?
Allow me to say, Rahul, I said handful in comparison to the electorate. Since the electorate is 16 lakh and the size of the ground is about, I think, 15 or 10 or 1,000, and that was the amount of people who turned up. So if you do a relative comparison of the people who came and the electorate, then you can obviously say that it's a handful as far as the total electorate is concerned, and that is what I think everyone...
No, it's very simple. There is a ground. You pick this ground. Any political party, when they pick grounds, and Siddharth Nath Singh will know this, will try and find a ground which they can fill. That's the way any leader's mettle is measured. If Siddharth is fighting on a ticket for the BJP, he needs to fill up the ground. What's the message that's going out if that ground's not filled up? Siddharth Nath Singh, I'm coming back to you, Raghav.
Yeah, this is the problem. If you look at this entire episode from the prism of conventional politics, you would find that if the ground is full, if there are people flooded all over the ground or outside the ground, only then you know about the popularity of the leader. What happened in Bihar when Mr. Modi was campaigning? 11 special trains were run, 20,000 SUVs were there, and about 800 odd buses were taken to the venue. People are paid to attend these rallies.
One second.
Not the way.
There's a way, you're jumping around, Raghav. Very conveniently, you're shifting the goalpost. 1 second, I will not have everyone speak together. I'm sorry, I will not accept this. Raghav, Chadda, listen to my cue. When I ask you to speak, that's when you will speak. I will not have everyone jumping and turning this into a fish market. I do not like that. Siddharth Nath saying, the argument that was given by the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party is that people came, especially in Delhi. You filled up the Ram Leela Maidan, you filled up Jantar Mantar because people came on their own without being brought by the political party. By that same logic, the Aam Aadmi Party failed to register any enthusiasm in Varanasi. Siddharth Nath Singh.
Well, that's a reality that, when you pick up a ground, we always, as a political parties, we always say this is a ground, whether it's 50,000 or a lakh, how many people we can fill, and the campaign or the rally is organized on the basis of this, irrespective of any political party. Similarly, when we went for Mr. Modi's rally in Kashi, we went around in the Varanasi. It took us almost 2 weeks to decide where we can, accommodate the public which is going to come. And we realized that we had to move away from main city, and we went outside the city, and there Raja Talab we went there, and there we had more than 5 lakh people. So that is how you measure that the leader's popularity is. Unfortunately, Mr. Kejriwal has failed today. If you look at Benia Bagh, it accommodates
the ballot box.
People I know too well, so I will not get into a debate about it. And in Benia Bagh, whatever you are showing is a very less crowd.
Okay, I want to bring in Salman Soz because the Aam Aadmi Party has said conventionally that we, unlike other traditional political parties, don't need to hire trains, pay money. People come to listen to our leaders. Those pictures show that most of the ground that they picked, which they were confident they could fill up, was empty. Does that show that Kejriwal has received a lukewarm response in Varanasi? Salman Soz.
Rahul, I don't really believe that the size of the crowd ultimately, is an indication of how many votes you're going to get. Now, Mr. Kejriwal, I think, has bitten off more than he could chew. He ran away from Delhi. He quit in Delhi. He's quit pretty much all his jobs. So I think that's going to come and haunt him. I think the real contest in Varanasi is not going to be between Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Modi. I suspect once you hear the name of a candidate coming soon, the real contest is going to be...
No, because people think that the Congress won't put up a candidate at all. People think that Arvind Kejriwal is your candidate. You've announced a candidate for Vadodara. What is this big delay in announcing the candidate for Varanasi? Several are thinking that Kejriwal has already been announced as the de facto Congress candidate.
Those people who think that we are not going to put up a candidate are perhaps dreaming. We put up one of our most senior members against Mr. Modi in Vadodara, and we're going to have a very solid, strong candidate in Varanasi
we will know that only once you announce the name of your candidate. But I want to come back. I want to come back to the issue that's being discussed. And Raghav Chopra, the Congress has said, and the Aam Aadmi Party has been repeating constantly that people come to listen to Kejriwal, people come to listen to the Aam Aadmi Party leaders. We, unlike the BJP, don't need to bring them in buses and trains. The fact that of the 16 lakh people of Varanasi, only a few thousand showed up. What does that say about Kejriwal's acceptability and popularity in Varanasi? Raghav Chadda.
Well, allow me to first point out, Rahul, that before coming on the show, I was watching your Hindi channel, Aaj Tak, on which one of the reporters was saying that there was a lot of enthusiasm for the Aam Aadmi Party, and he used a Hindi term in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party, and he said कि आगाज से अंदाजा हो जाता है कि अंजाम कैसा होगा. He said that this enthusiasm can show that the Aam Aadmi Party is actually established in Varanasi and there is a lot of fan following. But at the same time, I would also say that the standard of debate has deteriorated so much that we are still disputing on the number of people who turned up. I think it's about, we should deepen the debate. We should understand what is the real development model that Varanasi has seen by Mr. Joshi, or for the 5 times when their MP was sitting in parliament, and what is the real development model of Gujarat. Gujarat, and we should talk on policies, programs and development models rather than whether 7,000 people came or 11,000 people
now you're
came.
trying to change the goalpost. In any election season, political parties try and show how many people have come out to listen to them. The crowds were missing.
I'm afraid
Most of the ground was empty. You're saying let's shift the goalpost. Okay, so I come to the second part of the center stage debate tonight. Is the Aam Aadmi Party campaign in Varanasi more hype than reality, more symbolism than a real battle on the ground? And I want to put that question first to Siddharth Nath Singh. Are you getting a sense through the sort of response that Arvind Kejriwal is generating, or the lack thereof, that this campaign is more hype than it is reality? Siddharth Nath Singh.
Well, Rahul, it's certainly, we all have been saying for a very long time that anything which Mr. Kejriwal does or Aam Aadmi Party do, they are always doing for the camera, and through the camera they got the publicity. Unfortunately, through the camera they're getting a bad publicity. So it is always a hype, and today what we have seen, even if you go through his entire speech, Mr. Raghav is saying that we must talk about development, what needs to be done. He did not do anything. He has been constant in what he says in the rhetorics. That is Adani, Ambani, BJP, Narendra Modi, Congress. He keeps on saying the same thing repeatedly again and again. He had nothing to offer for the Varanasi people, which did not, which talked about any development. He only, from anti-corruption, which he used to talk, he is moved to anti-Modi. That beyond that, there is nothing left for Mr. Kejriwal to say now.
Raghav Chadha, has
Allow me to rebut.
Arvind Kejriwal bitten off more than he can chew? We just saw in that live shot we did with our colleague, there was a saffron surge in Varanasi. The one Aam Aadmi Party supporter literally being shouted down by the mass of BJP supporters around him. Is there a sense that while he's walked in with a lot of machismo and bravado into this battle, this is a battle that ultimately he may not end up winning? Modi is not going to prove to be as easy to bring down as Sheila Dikshit.
Well, first of all, allow me to say that this particular shot could have been in one corner of Varanasi. If I have all reasons to believe the kind of journalism that other people have also done, and I understand, I've been given to understand that there is a lot of groundswell of support as far as the Aam Aadmi Party's organization is concerned in Varanasi. And allow me, since you've mentioned that what would be the outcome, allow me to recite a few lines. It says, गिरते हैं शह सवार ही मैदाने जंग में, वो तिफल क्या गिरे जो घुटनों के बल चलते हैं. It says that what about those people who fight from 2 seats, who look for safe seats, they've already lost the battle. Here is a person who is calling the bluff of the Gujarat model, who has the ability, the bravery, the fearlessness to call a spade, and he is actually increasing the kind of democracy, the kind of politics that we've seen in this country. All throughout you've seen that people don't feel candidates. Congress doesn't feel candidates against Sushma Swaraj, against Mr. Modi. Similarly, BJP doesn't file candidates against Mrs. Gandhi, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Here is a man who has taken
fair enough. I can see that you made that point. That's an important point, and Salman Soz must answer, because on both the seats that are being contested by Mulayam Singh and his daughter-in-law, the Congress is not putting up candidates, and SP returns the favour by not challenging Sonia and Rahul Gandhi in Raebareli and Amethi. Now, at least the one thing, regardless of the electoral outcome, that Arvind Kejriwal is challenging is that I will not give Narendra Modi an easy fight. I will go out and challenge him, even if I lose. Whereas the Congress and the SP and traditional parties are constantly looking for an easy way out.
I think, Rahul, for Mr. Modi, there'll be candidates, very solid candidates in both places. So let's not get into that.
No, why not the Samajwadi Party? Why are you giving Mulayam and Dimple both a free run?
Our party,
why don't you challenge them?
Look, our party, Rahul, our party is a political strategy, and we go by that, and that's what we do, and we'll push that. I don't.
The political strategy involves match fixing with your opponents.
I want to tell you, Rahul, I want to tell you something. What we saw during Mr. Kejriwal's visit to Banaras and during his visit to Gujarat, there are 2 things we saw. In Gujarat and Banaras, on the part of the BJP and its activists, we saw a lot of intolerance. On the part of Mr. Kejriwal, we see a lot of gimmickry. And we've seen that throughout this campaign. And by the way, both Mr. Modi, who has a very competent American PR firm, and Mr. Kejriwal, they're both media creations. I mean, it's for plain for everybody to see. And I will tell you this whole notion of Ab Ki Baar Modi ki Sarkar, you will see, they will get a response on by May 16th. You will know that Indians will say Ab Ki Baar bhi Sab Hindustaniyon ki Sarkar.
No, one second.
And as far as Mr.
You're
Kejriwal
saying that the BJP is intolerant. You're accusing the Aam Aadmi Party of gimmickry. Does it not worry you even more? Does it not worry you even more that no one in the Congress even wants to fight on seats that they currently hold for one reason or the other? They're looking for a escape route. That's actually far more worrying, where you're ceding this space to BJP on the one side and the Aam Aadmi Party on the other. That's the reality, no matter how much you contest it, Salman.
That is a reality from, it's not, Rahul Kanwal said that this is reality and that is reality. That may be a perception. But the reality is that the Congress Party decides which candidate fights where. Absolutely. No candidate can tell the Congress Party that I will not contest because tomorrow that person has to be in the Congress Party or not. Right? We do not decide, even if you're a very senior person. Ultimately, the party has to decide. Or you please choose your own path.
But does that not, look at the logic that you're offering us, Salman. You're saying the party can push people to fight. What about people being interested in fighting? They're from an Amrinder Singh onwards, people are being bullied into fighting. Manish Tiwari wasn't sure he wanted to fight from Ludhiana. Chidambaram made it clear he didn't want to fight from Shivaganga. You are literally using the threat of the Gandhi family, forcing these leaders who want to run away from battle to fight.
There is no threat of the Gandhi family. This is the Congress Party. This is not the Gandhi Party. Okay? As far as you talk about Mr. Amrinder Singh, I'm very happy you talked about him. Mr. Jaitley's already escaped from that constituency, if you haven't been reviewing things. He's already run away. Mr. Chidambaram, we decided he had work to do, which is part of our party strategy. I want to tell you that I want to bring this discussion to these two people. This is all about may. Ek side se Arvind Kejriwal, the other side is Mr. Modi. This is all about these two people. The Bharatiya Janata Party has seen lots of cracks within its ranks because of the behavior of Mr. Modi. And in Mr. Kejriwal's party, there's been a lot of opposition because of the way this whole business of, he's launched a tirade against truth. I mean, I thought he was an anti-corruption party.
No, you're finding fault with what others are doing and trying to just hide under the carpet the Congress's own faults, which are far more serious. But there's an important point that's been leveled, and I want to put that to Siddharth Nath Singh, and that's the argument about intolerance. When Kejriwal came, it is being alleged that BJP leaders or karyakartas on the ground went and smeared ink on him, threw eggs on him. The same thing happened in Gujarat as well when his convoy was attacked, windscreens were smashed. If it is such a walk in the park for Modi, why is the BJP rattled at Kejriwal's presence?
Well, let me first quickly add a comment to what Salman has been saying. The decision of Madhusudan Mistry moving to Vadodara tells us two things. One, in Vadodara, your Rahul Gandhi's primaries have failed. The candidate runs away. Madhusudan Mistry, who is in charge of UP, all this while for over a year, he is being taken away because you have concluded that Uttar Pradesh is a place where you all are going to lose. Now coming on, Rahul, your questions, let me, I don't know, but to answer that what BJP have done, there's no proof that BJP or BJP supporters or Modi supporters have done anything like this. There's no proof. Now on the Rakhi Birla case and Yogendra Yadav case, I must bring to the notice of your viewers. Rakhi Birla had said that the BJP people had stoned her windscreen, and that when she had gone to see a inspector in a colony. Then later we all came to know there was a boy who was playing in his house and his ball fell on the windscreen and it got broken. Similarly, Yogendra Yadav, even there it was blamed on the BJP. Later it was found it was one of his workers. So Aam Aadmi Party has a habit of accusing and then running away. They don't have any proof, so let them bring a proof, and then I think BJP will be
Raghav Chadha, that's an important question. In the context of what happened with Yogendra Yadav, in the context of what happened with Rakhi Birla, what's the proof that just to hype his presence and just to show that BJP is rattled, one Aam Aadmi Party worker didn't go and smear ink on Kejriwal's face or didn't throw those eggs. It's happened in the past. The BJP is alleging you could have done it again.
See, let us first understand that all these incidents, whether it's breaking the windscreen of Mr. Kejriwal's car, whether it's throwing eggs, smearing ink and all these kind of, same type of conduct, behavior is concerned, the BJP and the Congress are known to do this. They've been doing this all throughout their politics, and we have all the reasons to believe that it's done by the BJP people, because we don't train our volunteers in such a manner that we request them to do this for cheap publicity. Number two, this clearly shows that there is a fear in the minds of the senior leaders of the BJP that they have resorted to such low level of conduct. It is stooping down. Mr. Yogendra Yadav, just because he was wearing the cap of the Aam Aadmi Party, it doesn't mean that he was from our party. And I would urge you to first look at the kind of violence that we had gone through in Gujarat, where at every nook and corner there was stone pelting, our windows were broken, and the kind of fear that you people have of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Aam Aadmi Party emerging as
no, but Raghav Chadha, I have over here. One second. Let's just leave the rhetoric on the side for a moment and focus on the facts. I have over here a tweet that's been put out by Arvind Kejriwal yesterday, where he says BJP planning something ? It's in response to everyone suspects there will be violence in Varanasi. You almost create this specter of fear. You almost seem to be provoking a response. Is that not part of the same strategy to create hype? Which brings us back to the question, is this more hype than reality?
Well, Rahul, for the past 9 days, our volunteers are in Banaras, in Varanasi, and at every nook and corner, they are being either stone pelted, thrashed, beaten up or abused. And it gives us all the grounds to believe that this is what would have happened on the day of the rally, and this is precisely what actually happened. Even after repeated intimations and warnings, it again happened. It shows the mindset of the BJP, the kind of extremism that these guys can come down to, and the kind of fear that they have in their mind with the Aam Aadmi Party actually emerging.
Now, I have over here, I've just received an SMS from Rohit Singh, our correspondent in Varanasi, who's been speaking to a whole bunch of people who were at the Aam Aadmi Party rally, and he says of the 7,000 odd people who came, several of them were from Delhi, Kanpur, Badoi, Saraswati, Mau and other places. They say that most of the people we spoke to who were at the Aam Aadmi Party rally today, this is a man on the ground who's been speaking to these people, who's now saying they were not from Varanasi. Varanasi showed up in even lesser numbers than you're conceding, Raghav.
Well, Rahul, I think it's extremely obvious that once you hold a big rally in a particular area in Uttar Pradesh, people are supporters from all around Uttar Pradesh in various parts of various Lok Sabha constituencies of Uttar Pradesh will flock to the rally ground and express their consent and their gesture. But I would still again urge you to wait for the result of the elections. The electorate is the real judge, the real benchmark to judge the popularity.
Okay, I want to come. We've covered that ground. I want to come to the third and final part of Center Stage tonight.
Again and again you are
you're trying to read very little. When the crowds come to Jantar Mantar or Ramleela Maidan, the same Arvind Kejriwal says, look at the number of people who've come out in support of the Aam Aadmi Party. When no one shows up in Varanasi, you're trying to deflect the goalpost by saying, don't go by the numbers don't mean anything. I am now not coming into that. I want to move to the third part of our debate.
30 seconds.
Just 30 seconds. Just 1 second. I want to move on. You've made your points. We're now repeating ourselves. So coming to the third part of the debate tonight, by challenging Narendra Modi, does Kejriwal emerge victorious even if he gets defeated? And I want to put that question first to Siddharth Nath Singh. The fact that he is now seen as the real challenge to Narendra Modi. Even if there were to be a Modi government tomorrow, Rahul Gandhi is on the sidelines. In public perception, it is Arvind Kejriwal who had the audacity to challenge Modi in Varanasi, regardless of whether he won or lost. And therefore, this is very smart long-term planning. Over a period of 4-5 years, Kejriwal emerges as the real opposition to a possible prime ministership of Narendra Modi. Siddharth Nath Singh.
Well, Rahul, I don't think so. One, I feel this is very symbolic. Symbolic not because of he has, he wants to raise certain contents, or there is a substance behind him. Symbolic in the sense because he wants to remain in the media and occupy that space. So every day in Varanasi he will accuse BJP, he will do something theatrical or a gimmickry will be done so that the media attention is drawn to him. Beyond that, I don't think he will enjoy that he has become a martyr or he is a real challenger to Narendra Modi. I don't think that is happening. As far as Congress is concerned,
you're trying to dismiss him. You tried to dismiss him in Delhi. You saw what happened. While the BJP will continue to play down the threat, I want to go to Salman Soz because this is the real challenge for the Congress. The fact that Rahul Gandhi is not perceived as the real challenge, the real threat to Narendra Modi. It is Kejriwal who's out there. He's the one who's having his face smeared with ink. He's the one who's being attacked with eggs. In public perception, he's taking the anti-Narendra Modi, anti-BJP space, pushing Congress to the sidelines, at least in mind space, and subsequently also possibly electorally. Salman Soz.
Look, I think if Mr. Modi thinks that he's going to become the Prime Minister, he's dreaming. First, he should overcome the opposition in his own party and,
answer my question,
manage to run his... I am answering your question. They're running a bumbling campaign right now. They're huffing and puffing to the finish line. They're almost finished. Their whole dreams are finished. As far as Mr. Kejriwal is concerned, he's a quitter. He's quit all over the place. Whether it was his job in government or whether it was the chief ministership.
Objection to the kind of language that he's using.
No, I'm sorry. He's a quitter.
To the kind of language that he's
By
using.
definition,
Sir,
he's a quitter.
You are on a national
One second, Raghav Chadha, wait your turn. Raghav Chadha, wait your turn. When I come to you is when you get an opportunity to make your point. Don't jump in because that really reduces and debases this debate, and that's not okay. Salman Soz, complete your argument.
As far as our party is concerned, in the last 2 months, we've seen a distinct change on the ground. Things are turning around, and you will see. That is why I keep talking about May 16th. People are going to be shocked by what you find. And as far as Mr. Kejriwal is concerned, he had a real chance. The people of Delhi had given him a great chance to consolidate himself, his party, but they quit. And that is going to prove disastrous for him in this election. He's not even going to be in the top 3. Take it from me. Okay, record this and show it on that day, on May 16th. He's not going to be in the top 3.
Okay, is the hope, Raghav, that the Aam Aadmi Party has, is that by challenging Modi in Varanasi, you hope to capture mind space and over a longer term emerge as a real alternate or the real challenger to Modi, even if in Varanasi this time Kejriwal ends up losing?
First of all, I take strong objection to the kind of language that the Congress spokesperson has been using, and I think Congress, being the grand old party, should send such spokesperson on channels which actually know how to follow parliamentary language and conduct. Number 2, as far as the Aam Aadmi Party's challenge is concerned, I think every leader, a rational leader, a patriotic leader, would want to call the bluff of the Gujarat model, of the model of development that the BJP has been talking about. The literacy rates has gone down in Mr. Modi's tenure. The poverty rates have extremely increased. The debt has increased.
Raghav, you have this particular habit of not answering my question. Raghav, 1 second. The both of you, I'm asking you a question, answer that. This is not about a pre-prepared answer which you come back with regardless of the question that I ask you. If I didn't get through to you, I will repeat my question. Is the larger strategy of the Aam Aadmi Party to emerge as the alternate, the challenger to Modi, regardless of the electoral outcome of this election? Just answer this question. Don't go off on a tangent, Raghav.
Yes, I was answering your question in a gradual manner. I said all these facts because here is a man. I was trying to explain the strategy of the party. The strategy of the party right now is to actually call the bluff of the Gujarat model, to call a spade and take on the fight, take bull by the horns, and act in a democratic manner, show that whoever is a popular leader can actually win the seat.
And in that sense, Salman Soz.
But look at what the BJP is doing. Allow me to complete. As Siddharth Nath Singh ji said that they just ridicule the Aam Aadmi Party and the contest that we are offering. If that is the case, sir, when Mr. Kejriwal in Bangalore announced that Mr. Kejriwal might contest against Narendra Modi, you announced a second constituency which Mr. Modi would fight. If you are so sure of a victory, why don't you shun away one constituency and leave the exchequer's money, which would again be spent if he wins both the seats? Why doesn't Narendra Modi?
Okay, you made that point. You made that point, but Salman Soz, I have only one final question to you. Over the last 2 months, the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal have done more to counter Narendra Modi than your BJP, than your unit in Gujarat has done over the last 12 years. It is posing a more formidable challenge to Modi as far as Mindspace is concerned, literally taking him on than the Congress is. You've almost rolled over, accepted defeat and are now waiting for the inevitable.
Rahul, maybe they've taken over your mind space, not the mind space of this entire country. I think we should get out of TV studios and we'll find out. As far as Mr. Raghav is concerned, Raghav ji, you might want to the way to counter the Gujarat model is to actually provide correct facts. Poverty in Gujarat has not gone up. It has just not kept pace. The decline has not kept pace with the rest of the country. So that is the way to argue.
Okay, that's a separate debate.
Times blog from today.
All the points that had to be made on this debate have been made.
Please, Raghav ji.
No, all the points that had to be made have been made. I'm going to conclude this debate over here because when we come back, and I want to keep time for that report, we have a ground report from the Banaras Hindu University. What's the mood at one of the most sacred institutes of higher learning? Regardless of the rhetoric being spun by the BJP, the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, the reality is, in public perception, Kejriwal is posing a challenge to Modi. This is a battle he's most likely going to lose. But despite that, he emerges victorious in the sense that he emerges as the long-term challenger to Narendra Modi, regardless of what the Congress has said on this program this evening. You make of it what you will. You've heard from 3 articulate spokespersons from all the 3 parties, Siddharth Nath Singh, Salman Soz and Raghav Chadha, for joining us on Centre Stage tonight. Thank you very much.